Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the Southern Homestead. Today I'm going to be doing a few things around the farm. I have to start hardening off my seedlings that I planted several weeks back. The weather's getting a lot warmer, spring is in the air, and it's going to be pretty soon time for us to get those plants in the ground. I'm also going to be meeting up with a friend of mine, a longtime friend, for lunch. We went in halves on half a side of beef, so we're each getting a quarter of a cow. She's been out of town, I've been out of town. We're finally able to meet up, and I'll be giving her her portion of all the meat. I'm going to try and look into doing all the math configurations, but I want to say it came out to be around $4.38 a pound, which is really good, and it's grass-fed beef. We buy from a local farmer here in the area. We don't have cattle of our own yet. That is definitely on the wish list for the future, but for now we will just support our local farmers, and it's a win-win. We'll get our grass-fed beef for pennies on the dollar, and then he gets business from the local community. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start bringing out my trays of seedlings, and I'm not going to put them out in direct sunlight yet. I just started hardening them off yesterday, and they spent a couple of hours in the opening of our barn, and they didn't really get sun touching them, but they were able to feel the breeze and get some indirect sunlight in the general area. And I did that for a couple of hours yesterday, and then today I'm going to do the same thing. But eventually I will bring them out more and more into the sunlight, and then they'll be ready to go in the garden.
Making our way how God intended, life on the homestead recommended. When the going gets tough and you're done pretending, life on the homestead recommended. There are no more 9 to 5 when you're living between the pines. No more struggling to get by.
And that sun is awful bright today, but I'm not complaining because it is gorgeous. Spring is in the air, and the bees are out pollinating, the chickens are out foraging, and the cat's out hunting. I'm sorry, Mr. Bird. I guess he was hungry.
Living the best life among the trees, life on the homestead, oh so free. Roaming the land that we created, life on the homestead, finally made it. We're living the life we dreamed of, full of life and full of love. Whoa, no more 9 to 5 when you're living between the pines. No more struggling to get by when you're living in God's light. Whoa, that's the homestead life.
So I'm going to go ahead and load up her beef and take it to her today, and we're going to have a nice leisurely lunch. But I just wanted to share with you her portion. We divided it straight down the middle. So she gets a quarter of a cow, we get a quarter of a cow. And so these are the amounts that we will each get. 72 pounds of ground beef. They're empty nesters, we're empty nesters. Back when we had kids at home, we would have the butcher process the beef into 2-pound packages of ground beef, just because our meals that we were preparing were larger volume. But in this case, since we're both empty nesters, I told the processor to just put them in 1-pound packages. So as far as the ground beef, my friend is going to receive 72 packages or 72 pounds of the packaged ground beef. She will get 2 packs of the chuck roast, 2 packs of the filet steaks, 4 packs of the ribeyes, 5 packages of the boneless stew meat, and then out of the 5 packages of the beef liver, I'm going to give her 4 packs, because hopefully I'm going to take 1 pack of those and experiment with freeze drying the beef liver, then grinding it up and putting it into capsules that we can take as supplements. I don't eat organ meat like that, but I might be willing to take the supplement in capsule form where I don't actually have to taste it. Based on the total cost of hanging weight and all of this with our half of cow and the processing fee, it ends up coming out to $4.38 a pound. I'd say that's a win, because if you look at the prices of beef in the store, I don't even think you can buy a pound of ground beef for $4.38. At least not the kind that we would buy in the store, because we would definitely buy the grass-fed. If you have the opportunity to purchase, like we have, a side of beef or a half a side of beef, and then, split with friends or what have you, or family members, it's definitely going to be economical and well worth your time and effort.
Making our way how God intended. Life on the homestead recommended. When the going gets tough and you're done pretending. Life on the homestead recommended. There are no more 9 to 5 when you're living between the pines. No more struggling to get by when you're living in God's light. Whoa, that's the homestead life. Living the best life among the trees. Life on the homestead, oh so free. Roaming the land that we created. Life on the homestead, finally made it.
Well, friends, thanks for joining me on the homestead today. I'm off to have lunch with my friend and deliver her cow. We appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.
When you're living between the pines, no more struggling to get by. When you're living